Hey, welcome back to On the Peg with me, your host, the one, the only, the eyebrow-raising, the bearded joyaholic. I am, of course, Joseph, also known as the Mad Montreal Man. And we have two action figures for you today, only two. I figured after putting you through Wednesday's $5 Friday thing, my apologies, I can't help it. I am, after all, a joyaholic. An action figure for $5, I pick it up, I'll review it. Can't help it. But I figure after last Friday's episode of the Batman Returns Again with 4 figures, we should just do 2 figures today, but they're really worth it. And the 2 figures we're talking about today is from the Collector Series number 47, Batman Darkseid War. Yes, I got the black one. And of course, one of the most interesting Green Lantern story arcs ever from the series of comic book covers that McFarlane's doing. Al Jordan, Emerald Twilight. Yeah, now you know why I'm only doing 2 figures. But what do you say we start by taking Mobius Chair Batman out of his package? So let's get my good friend, your good friend, he who is the steel blade of justice, Dr. Scalpel. And let's start taking this guy out. Now, there is a platinum of this guy. I've seen it. He's blue with his mouth open, kind of like, ah! It's the same thing with the actual Mobius. There's a Platinum of Mobius, which I don't have. The Platinum of Mobius is basically black. I only got the regular one, but if you watch the show, thank you for doing that, you saw that I have the regular Mobius chair one. Alrighty, so I'm going to toss in a close-up, be back right after that. Well, you saw in the close-up, he looks really, really good. Now, I can imagine taking this light thing I bought last time, putting that behind there, and you get a really nice light effect. It's a shame that the chair doesn't come with the light effect, because that would have been really cool. But, then again, this doesn't last anyway. But let's talk about what he comes with. Now, he comes with the collector's card, and I admit, I do like the cards. Doesn't say much in the back, but whatever. He also has the standard McFarlane base, a Batarang, of course, and in package he had a fist and a trigger finger. These little guys here. But I just figured I like the white fingertips on the gloves. They just look good. They just go with the suit a bit more. And the chair is the same chair as Metron's chair. In fact, it's almost the same body. If you really think about it, it's a McFarlane body. Now, there is a Metron Platinum where he's in a black outfit. Looks a lot like that. I want it. It looks really good. I just haven't found one yet. But let's talk about Batman in the chair. Now, I'm happy it's a wired cape, because without a wired cape, you wouldn't be able to put him in the chair. Can you imagine a solid plastic cape? It wouldn't fit. The chair itself is exactly the same chair as the Metron chair or the Mobius chair. Love the chair. I like the design of it. As for Batman himself, well, I will admit, The legs are stiff. It took me a while to play with the legs to get him to sit down comfortably in the chair. I had no problem moving the arms. The arms are nice, good articulation. The arms, the head's no problem at all. The fact that it's a wired cape makes it so much better. I like this figure. Okay, I love this figure. I'm so happy I got him. And it's just one of those things where, obviously, it's front of the shelf. Another thing is I've been thinking about doing is, if I ever get another one of these, do a head swap. Take the Bruce Wayne head from the last Batman figure we got that had double heads and just do, yeah, be interesting, because there is one, I think 1 or 2 panels where you see him without the mask on. It would look really cool. Overall, well done, McFarlane Toys, giving us a Batman variant that we actually do want and like. I really like this one. Definitely a front of the chair. Yeah, definitely looks good in the chair. Put him with Metron together, especially if I can get the black one. That would be a nice combo. But yeah, front of the shelf, no doubt about it. If you can find them, get them. Now there is a platinum where he's all blue and his face is open. This is the one I recommend. It just looks so freaking good. But let's move on, shall we? Let's slide bats off to the side of it. Now their shirt, as I said, is a giveaway. Al Jordan, Emerald Twilight. I'm really happy that McFarlane started doing these comic book cover ones, because if you think about it, we have the gold statue Superman one, which is kind of like a comic book cover, but this is the third one he's actually done that actually is a comic book cover recreation. So once more, hey, mint and package people, Dr. Scalpel says watch as we cut this guy out of the package. This is back when, you know, DC Comics was just really putting out some great storylines. But what do you say I finish taking Al Jordan out of the package, tossing a close-up or two, and we'll be back right after Now that is an iconic comic book cover. I like the card as well. He does come with a few things. He comes with a spare regular Green Lantern hand, and of course a regular one ring right hand, and two, of course, Green Lantern punching effects. But let's talk about him in general. Now, the cardboard backing, you have the cover, of course, or I like to display him just like this, with just this here, because that is a cool cover. All the rings. Comes with a lantern. Now, I will say the packaging did warp my card a bit disappointed, but it'll straighten out in a sleeve. But let's talk about the base. I like these bases. Nice wide bases. You can basically put the cardboard in and holds the cardboard nicely. It looks great. I love the base. It's going to go right next to the Dark Knight and Superman 1 from Kingdom Come. But the figure himself, let's get into some details here. I love the shading. I actually like how they made it look. I can imagine having a green light hitting this thing just the right angle. It looks good. Now, it doesn't continue in the back, though. The shading is only on the front, which is all right. But the details in the rings are there. That insane face looks great. I mean, that's the face of the comic book. It just looks really good. And yes, right off the bat, it's a front of the shelf display action figure. I love this guy. Pick him up. Definitely pick him up. Now, it is a shame, though, that over the years, DC Comics has done Al Jordan dirty. Now, before my editor puts something up, he thinks I'm old enough that Alan Scott is my Green Lantern. I grew up with Al Jordan. Over the years, DC has done Al Jordan dirty. I mean, from making him go insane, to becoming Parallax, to the Spectre, to sacrifice himself and then coming back, to basically being replaced by John Stewart. And DC has pushed John Stewart so much over the years that it kind of makes me hate John Stewart's character. Even in the current story arcs, John Stewart's becoming this Emerald of the Light. Yeah. The funny thing is, though, in my Krypton universe, for those who don't know, I started doing my own custom action figures. Sort of what if something a bit different, if it was Mon-El who landed on Earth before Superman. That's why I call it the Kryptonian. And I decided to make John Stewart sort of like a prophet of the Green Lantern Corps. Kind of funny how that seems to be happening now. But Al Jordan is still my #1 Green Lantern, the greatest Green Lantern of all time. Nothing's ever going to change that. He is just amazing Green Lantern. I love the look of this guy. And articulation's there. It is a well-articulated action figure. I mean, when you have nothing blocking the shoulders, you get a good pose. You got a, typical McFarlane ab crunch, which is not much, but who cares? I don't need to have him looking at his own knees, but as action figures go, yeah, he's a good figure too. And yeah, if you're wondering, you could swap out another head for it, but why bother? This is a cover. It looks really good, and I do recommend picking him up. Because when I think about this story arc of what he had to go through as a character, his city gets destroyed, he kind of snaps. It makes me think about men's mental health. And as you know, it's important to me for people out there to understand that being a toyaholic is a healthy thing. It is. It may be hard on the wallet, but it beats a whole bunch of other addictions you could have. So you gotta support people who like action figures. So don't mock them for it, because think, there are people out there who collect purses, people who collect running shoes. People like you and me, we collect these wonderful images in 3D form of beloved comic book characters. You got to admit that. And it's a very good way, of course, for your body, your mind, and your emotional well-being to stay healthy. And when you get a figure that just makes you think of that comic book so much, well, it's a good way to stay happy. And when you think, we still got some more figures coming, he's still the greatest Green Lantern of all time, it's a good way to stay positive. And on that note, I'll wrap up the show by asking you to please hit like, subscribe, comment, and share. And do your best. Have a great weekend. And until next week, what, editor? Yes, we have a show next week. Yes, we have a show next week. Don't worry, editor. We're not done yet. I promised a minimum of 52 episodes. This is only episode 51, not counting the specials. But next week, okay, to make my editor happy, we've got another Batman show. What a surprise. We're going to have Batman Incorporated Batman. we're going to have the Scarecrow. We're going to have the Riddler. And because I figured, hey, you got to break only 2 figures today, 4 figures next week, Black Mask as the Batman. That's next Friday here on the Peg. Until then, quit dropping stuff. It happens. Unsupervised, unscripted. Yay. As I was about to say, until then, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday for another episode of On the Peg. Fucking what the hell was that? I don't know anymore. I'm losing my mind. All these action figures. I've lost my mind. Let's try that again. I need more alcohol. Hey, welcome back to On the Peg with me, your host, the one, the only, the eyebrow-raising, the bearded toyholic. I am, of course, Joseph, also known as the Mad Montreal Man. And we got 2 action figures for you today. Figured after what happened on Wednesday with that $5 thing on Wednesday, my apologies yet again. I can't help myself. It's $5. I'll pick it up. I looked at it, and you at the supper watching that video. But we have 2 figures, as I said before, and they're worth it because this is this is me sober. Whew. Hey, welcome back to On the Peg with me, your host, the one, the only, the eyebrow-raising, the bearded toyaholic. Everyone mostly. Finally got the black one, and of course, the shirts a giveaway. Green. Can't speak. Shane, I hope you love the bloopers. The bloopers. I can't make a blooper saying bloopers. Hey, welcome back to On the Peg with me, your host, the one, the only. Fuck, I'm getting the giggles now. God damn it, too many takes. Oh. I still can't. Well, you saw in the close-up, he looks good. Now, of course, fuck. Well, there you have the close-up. There you have it. Well, you saw in the close-up, he looks really cool. This might actually come in handy. Oh, that does look good. Mount that on a wall, put that behind the chair. That looks really good. But we're not going to do that because we're here to talk about Batman, not the thing I picked up for the Wednesday show. Now, he does come with, of course, your typical base and the really nice shiny card, which I like the cards. I admit I like the cards. Now, in package, he comes with a trigger finger and a fist. I swapped them out. because I do like the white fingers. He also has a Batarang. But let's talk about him, shall we? The chair. I love the black looking chair. Now, if only I can get the Metron Platinum, where Metron's in black in a black chair, that would be cool. Be a nice little comparison. Because, you know, it is the same chair. Same chair, except this one's in black. As for Batman himself, well, let's put the chair off to the side. Wired cape, which is nice, I do like. Now, I have no problem with the arms. The arms are moving pretty well. They move pretty nicely. A little bit of clicking action, which is fine. My problem is the legs are so stiff. It took me a while to get him to sit down. So what I'll probably be doing when I put him on display is have him standing. But the cape, like I said, nice wired cape. Because you can imagine a rubber cape would not do well on the chair. I love the cape. I love the white fingertips on the gloves. It just looks really cool. I mean, can you imagine this flying down at you at night? It'd be really fun. No, this is one of the best Batmans they've ever done as a variant. I do like it. I like the details in the mask, the face. Overall, it's front of the shelf. Come on, there's no doubt about it. You get a Batman in a new God's chair, that is something you're going to have to say, that is really cool. Yeah, so I'm very happy with this guy. Very happy I got him. That's why you got the close-ups. Now, one thing I was thinking about doing, because in the comic book there is a scene where he's not wearing the mask. Maybe doing a head swap. Just put the Bruce Wayne head on that body. It'd be interesting to do. Because after all, we do have an extra Bruce Wayne head. But that's it for Batman in the Mobius chair. Now to track down the Metron Platinum. This just looks so good. Even though I do think the more pensive pose looks pretty good too. Overall, I'm happy, and I'm not happy with how this whole segment went. So I'm going to take all of this over again.